Let's get one thing straight. When a woman starts losing interest, most men panic. They start chasing harder, texting more, over-explaining, begging for clarity, and doing everything they think will fix it. But here's the raw truth. When a woman pulls back, the worst thing you can do is react emotionally. That's exactly what kills whatever attraction is left. You have to understand something powerful about modern dating. Interest is never guaranteed. A woman can be all in today and cold tomorrow. It doesn't always mean you did something wrong. It might just be her nature to test, get bored, or seek validation. But how you respond to her shift in energy determines everything. That's what separates the average guy from the man who commands respect and reignites desire. This isn't about manipulation. This is about understanding masculine self-control, emotional discipline, and high-value positioning. If you react like every other guy, desperate, needy, confused, she'll never see you as the man worth chasing again. But if you do the right things, or more importantly, avoid doing the wrong things, you immediately shift the dynamic back in your favor. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 deadly mistakes most men make when a woman starts losing interest, and then give you 2 powerful steps that flip the script and get her attracted again. Each section will be straightforward, deep, and rooted in real-world behavior. No theory, no fluff. Just what works. If you want to be the kind of man who doesn't just react to a woman's disinterest, but uses it as a moment to turn the tables, this is for you. Let's dive in. Let's. Section 1. Stop chasing harder. This is the most common reaction men have when a woman starts pulling away. They go into chase mode. The calls increase. The texts become longer. They try to be funny, sweet, romantic, even desperate. But here's the harsh truth. Chasing harder when a woman is losing interest only confirms what she's already beginning to suspect. That you need her more than she needs you. And in the modern dating world, nothing kills attraction faster than that dynamic. When you chase harder, you remove all the mystery. You give her the emotional high ground. She sees your attention as easy, as guaranteed, and women are hardwired to devalue what's always available. You may think you're being caring, or showing her how much she means to you, but what she feels is pressure. You're not winning her back, you're crowding her space and making her even more unsure. Think about it. If she's distancing herself and you close in even more, you've just trained her to believe that withdrawing from you earns more effort from you. So now, your chasing is not attractive. It's a reward for her indifference. That's backward energy. That's feminine energy. And that's exactly what drives her deeper into emotional distance. What works instead is doing the opposite. You must slow down. You must get still. You must mirror her withdrawal, not to punish her, but to protect your value. You become scarce, unpredictable, and calm. That creates curiosity. It makes her wonder what happened to the guy who used to be all over her. And that's where the power begins to shift. Real masculine energy doesn't chase validation. It doesn't seek emotional permission. It allows a woman the space to feel your absence. Because often, when you stop chasing, she starts thinking. She starts remembering. She starts feeling the emotional gap that your silence creates. But none of that can happen if you're blowing up her phone, showing up uninvited, or trying to win her back with sweet words. A high-value man never chases harder when interest drops. He steps back with confidence and emotional control. He knows that desire cannot be forced, only reignited. And distance is often the spark. Section 2. Never beg for reassurance. When a woman starts to lose interest, it creates a deep discomfort inside most men. You begin to feel uncertain, confused, maybe even panicked. So what do most guys do? They go straight to asking for reassurance. Is everything okay between us? Did I do something wrong? Do you still feel the same about me? These sound innocent, but they come from a place of weakness. And that weakness is felt more than it's heard. Here's what you have to understand as a man. The moment you start begging for clarity, comfort, or validation, you've already lost ground. It's not that communication is wrong. It's that timing and tone matter. When she's already pulling away and you're the one emotionally chasing, asking for answers only makes her feel more powerful in the dynamic. And whether she says it out loud or not, the more emotional control she has, the less attraction she feels. Modern women are drawn to men who appear certain, even when things are uncertain. That's what creates stability and intrigue. When you ask her to explain her shift in energy or try to fix it by talking it out too soon, it signals that your emotional state depends on her. That's not strength, that's dependence. And she feels it. In today's dating world, women are constantly bombarded with men who are too emotionally available too soon. And while the world may tell you vulnerability is attractive, unfiltered emotional neediness is not. You have to know the difference. The man who wins her interest back isn't the one asking questions. It's the one who stays grounded, observes the change in energy, and responds by focusing on his own emotional center. Let me make this even clearer. When you say, "You seem different lately, is everything okay between us?" What she hears is, "I feel insecure because you're not acting how I want, and I need you to fix my feelings." That's pressure, that's unattractive, and that's a signal to her that you don't trust your own value. On the other hand, when you notice her pulling back and respond with silence, calm energy, and presence in your own life, it forces her to sit with her own thoughts and uncertainty. That's power. A woman's interest doesn't grow from pity, sympathy, or explanations. It grows when she senses that you don't need her validation to feel strong. So the next time you're tempted to ask her what's going on, pause. Ask yourself, is this for clarity, or am I trying to make her fix my emotions? Because when you stop begging for reassurance and start reclaiming your frame, you become the one she wants to figure out, not the other way around. Section 3. Don't try to remind her of the past. One of the most damaging things men do when a woman begins to lose interest is try to bring up memories, old moments, or emotional highlights from the past. They say things like, "But remember how happy we were just last month?" Or, "You said you loved how I made you feel. What happened?" It comes from a good place, a desire to reconnect, but it's a tactical mistake that almost always backfires. Here's why. When a woman is emotionally pulling away, she's living in the present. Her current feelings are dictating her behavior, and those feelings are no longer as strong as they once were. Trying to drag her mentally back to the past doesn't reignite attraction. It makes you look emotionally stuck. It shows that you're resisting the reality of the moment and hoping that nostalgia can revive something that she no longer feels in the same way. And unfortunately, that creates pressure, not passion. When a man keeps referencing the past, a woman doesn't think, "Wow, he really cares." She thinks, "He doesn't get it. He's stuck in what we were, not who I'm feeling he is now." The modern dating world moves fast. Emotions evolve. Attraction shifts. And when a woman starts drifting, she's not looking backward. She's observing how you handle the now. That's what tells her whether you're still a man worth feeling drawn to. Trying to remind her of how good things used to be also sends another hidden message, that you don't know what else to offer in the present. It can make you sound like a man whose best moments are behind him. That kills momentum. Women want to feel a man who is grounded in the now, unpredictable, calm, centered, not clinging to romantic flashbacks. This doesn't mean you forget the history you built, but when she starts pulling away, the last thing you want to do is emotionally reach backward. Instead, you focus forward. You subtly communicate that you are still progressing, still growing, still unfazed, that you enjoyed what you had, but you're not emotionally anchored to it. That's attractive. That signals abundance. That tells her, "I can cherish the past without needing it." Let her be the one who remembers. Let her be the one who starts to wonder, why is he so unfazed by our distance? Why isn't he trying to talk about old times like other guys would? That silence, that poise, that forward energy. That's what starts to bring the spark back. You don't revive interest by reminding her of what you had. You revive it by becoming someone she wants to explore again, right now. Section 4. Never compete with other men. When a woman starts to lose interest, one of the worst traps a man can fall into is trying to compete with other men for her attention. Maybe she starts mentioning a male friend more often. Maybe she posts pictures that seem like they're aimed at getting a reaction. Maybe she becomes more active on social media, dressed up, hinting at a life that doesn't include you. And what do most guys do? They respond by trying to prove that they're better than the other guy. They compare, they get jealous, they try to outshine, and in doing so, they fall straight into the trap. You have to understand this. If you're trying to prove your worth against another man, you've already lost. You've shifted the frame. Instead of being the prize, the grounded man who moves with certainty, you've become the reactive one. You've turned the interaction into a competition. And a high-value man doesn't compete for what he shouldn't have to earn twice. Women instinctively test men this way, not always consciously, but often emotionally. When she senses your insecurity, she may subtly bring up another guy just to see how you handle it. If you react with jealousy, confrontation, or even by trying to outdo the other man, you reveal a lack of internal control. You show that your confidence is easily shaken, and worse, you give power to the idea that another man could take your place. The right move isn't to get louder, flashier, or try to outplay him. The right move is to do nothing. That's right, nothing. You don't flinch, you don't ask questions, you don't dig, you don't respond emotionally. Why? Because your value is not threatened by another man's presence. Your worth doesn't need defense. When you show emotional stillness, you show strength. And that strength is what women feel deep in their instincts. If she's testing your reaction, your calmness is the answer. If she's truly exploring someone else, your silence is your shield. If she's unsure where she stands, your self-respect becomes the reminder. But the moment you try to fight for her like a contestant, you become just another option, not the standard. Let me give you something even deeper. When a man knows he's valuable, he's not afraid of being replaced. He knows he brings more than charm. He brings leadership, emotional security, clarity, direction, and masculine calm, things most men lack. That's what makes a woman circle back. That's what makes her second guess losing you. But she won't feel any of that if you're too busy worrying about who she might be texting or trying to prove that you're better than him. So next time you feel the urge to react to another man in her orbit, stop, smile, breathe, walk away if you have to, but never compete. Because the moment you compete, you confirm you're losing.